The fifth key characteristics that we need to be placed in order to create an inclusive school culture is fostering appropriate behavior. Fostering appropriate behavior is a complex issue, but also one that is critical to creating an inclusive school. By their nature, inclusive schools should be places of belonging and acceptance for all people. It has been argued that creating an inclusive and welcoming school environment for all students will have an overall positive impact on students' behavior and the cultures of the school community. In these key characteristics, we have three parts. First, appropriate behavior. The school thinks proactively about fostering appropriate behavior by developing clear policies and guidelines and making everyone aware of these policies and the ways in which this respectful behavior will be dealt with. The school also plan for addressing behavior that may result from actions that are beyond a person's control or which may be related to environmental or other factors in a positive ways. The second part are bullying, teasing, and harassment are dealt with effectively. The school goes farther than providing workshops on bullying, teasing, and harassment. It is also ensures that students, parents, guardians, and staff are supported so that they take action in preventing and effectively dealing with this form of inappropriate behavior. So let's move on to the third part. We have the supports. The school is proactive in developing and implementing supports for students who are demonstrating inappropriate behavior. Positive behavior support strategies are well known and understood by school staff and include clearly defined ways to investigate the possible causes of inappropriate behavior, teach students new skills to deal with behavior, and address students' sensory needs in circumstances where environmental factors contribute to behavior issues. The sixth key characteristic is proactive school management and leadership. Inclusive schools will not become a reality unless there is strong leadership for inclusion and steps are taken to manage the school environment in such ways that promote inclusion at all levels. Proactive school management and leadership require that school leaders and educators assume responsibility for ensuring that inclusive values and practices are well understood and applied on a daily basis. So in this key characteristic, it has two parts. First, we have the management of the school. The school head assumes responsibility for making sure that all school staff have access to opportunities to learn about inclusion and the strategies that will develop an inclusive school. She also is proactive in developing ways for school staff to collaborate and problem solve in a ways that are timely and effective. The second part is management of the common learning environment. Effective management of the common learning environment involves a number of important actions. This starts with educators taking responsibility for the educational program for all students in his or her learning environment. Educators have also been given the training and professional development opportunities. They may need to be effective managers of their learning environments and have knowledge on how to manage educational assistants and other support professionals who may be involved. The seventh key characteristics that we need to be placed in order to create an inclusive school cultures is inclusion and students with exceptionalities. Inclusive schools pay particular attention to the inclusion of students with exceptionalities. Common learning environments instruction methods, assessments, accommodations, and support are all designed and implemented so that students with exceptionalities can participate alongside their same age, peers, and have a full and enriching school experience. So in these key characteristics, we have three parts. So the first part is inclusion in the school and the common learning environment. Within the common learning environment, students with exceptionalities are fully participating in ways that are similar to other students. Students are not separated within the common learning environment for academic instruction. Any removal of a student from the common learning environment is done in accordance with clearly established policies and guidelines. So let's proceed to the second part. We have the supports. Supports are often critical for the successful participation of students with exceptionalities. Supports come in many forms and can include personal supports, learning technologies, accommodations, professional services, modifications, and so on. Whenever supports are required, they are clearly identified and are provided to the fullest extent possible in the common learning environment. So the last part is self-determination and transition. Schools must proactively seek to assess students with exceptionalities to develop skills and confidence in speaking for themselves and making their own decision. Students' participation in meetings concerning their education and transition from school is highly encouraged. So now, let's move on and proceed to the 8 key characteristics. The innovative and creative environment. Inclusive schools are innovative and creative environments. School stakeholders review and question their practices and look for ways to improve their ability to be inclusive. So in these key characteristics, we have 3 parts. First, we have everyone is encouraged to be creative. Administrators, educators, support staff, students, and parents or guardians feel that the environment is conducive to taking risks with new ideas. They are comfortable questioning the status and challenging assumptions about the way things have to be. Change is embraced as a part of making improvements. The second part is successes are celebrated. All different kinds of successes by students, families, volunteers, and staff are celebrated. The school celebrates leaderships, volunteer activities, and improvement, as well as academic achievements and athletic ability. The third part is professional development is provided. Staff receive the professional development required to create and sustain inclusive learning environments and schools. Professional development is offered in different forms such as sharing among teaching colleagues, instructional advices, performance feedback, workshops, online courses and modules, and other training provided by outside sources. And now, the last characteristics or the 9 key characteristics that we need to be placed on in order to create inclusive school cultures. And that is collaborative approach. Inclusive schools are based on regular collaboration between students, families, educators, administrators, and communities. Collaboration is dynamic and result-oriented. So, in these key characteristics, we have three parts. The first part is everyone is participates in finding solution. Administrators, educators, support staff, students and parents or guardians are encouraged and empowered to find solutions to issues and concerns. Decision making and problem solving is collaborative. The second part is the school community is linked to the broader community. The school draws on expertise and resources from the community, such as community agencies, businesses, groups, and individuals to enrich school life. The school is also a model for inclusions and plays an active role in the community, promoting the values of inclusion, for example, showing ways to respect and value the diversity. And now, let us proceed to the third part, which is the parents or guardians are embraced as equal and essential partners. Parents or guardians are clearly seen as equal and essential partners in understanding the strength and needs, setting goals and developing strategies for their child. All parents are encouraged and supported to participate in many aspects of the school community, such as parent meetings, school committees, and events. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was we want to share to you, and thank you for listening. Any question or any clarification regarding our topic? If none, let's proceed now to the activity. We have here activities. We prepared activities to evaluate or measure your learnings about our topic. Enjoy answering.